Let's go, bro.
What's going on, guys? NFT Funny here. With all the new developments going on with Veve, with MTL being rolled out, KYC, the web app, everything going on, I just kind of want to make a more impromptu type video, less scripted than normal, and just kind of speak my mind about a few things I've been thinking about for a while, but it seems like a good time to talk about it now. As I mentioned, got that cut I was talking about. The flow is gone. I'm not sure when it'll be back. We'll see when that happens. But shoot me a comment if you'd like this cut right here. And as always, this is not financial advice and will never be financial advice. Hopefully I can stay on track here. I tend to go out into the woods a little bit when I'm talking, but let's see where this goes. Basically, the point of making this video is I just wanted to say that I believe that the delays that we've been seeing have been a blessing in disguise. Now, obviously, I would have probably preferred for them to meet their deadlines and accomplish things when they said they were going to be accomplished. But despite all that, I think even more opportunity has been created through these delays. And I have, of course, been frustrated with some of the delays. For example, I would say the number one gripe I would have, or the number one delay that I'm most frustrated with, would be the Master Collector program. And, you know, I have personal reasons for it. Might be a bit biased here, but basically, by now, over a year ago, Dan was saying that the Master Collector program was just a couple weeks out. It's going to be rolled out. It's just around the corner. And so I was trying to hoard every set I could, trying to prepare for when sets have more value, have more utility, and would therefore become more valuable. And so I based a lot of my collecting strategy around finishing sets, which I don't regret with the info I had at the time. But if I didn't have the info in my head, if I wasn't listening to interviews, I would have been getting things like duplicates of Todd, duplicates of Superman, really any blue chip. I already knew a lot of those things would be popular, but I thought that the Master Collector program would help me get more exclusive things, would help me with the drop raffle. I thought it would pay off more in the long run, especially if it was going to come out just next couple of weeks or at the end of the quarter, whatever it might have been, whatever they were saying at that time. You always hear, oh, you should be doing research, you should be listening to interviews, you should be doing deep dives to really know what's going on. So I thought I was doing things right and I was listening to the team. But in that sense, I was being a bit misled. That's just my personal example, and it was my decision to invest in sets. No one was forcing me to, and I don't put all the blame on the Veve team for me doing that by any means. I could imagine a lot more serious situations where they say that MTL will be coming out by Q3 or whatever it was of last year, and you're running on a tight budget, you're investing accordingly, you're thinking, okay, well, I can't cash out now, but by the end of Q whatever, I'll be able to cash out. And then that time comes, money's still trapped. You should never invest more than you're willing to lose, but if you're operating on a certain time frame and you're listening to what the team is saying, then the calculation becomes a bit different. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm not excusing the delays, and I myself have been very frustrated with a lot of the delays. But with that being said, I want to talk about how some of these things could help us out in the long run or even in the current moment. I just want to start off by saying that if you are here right now, if you are watching this video, if you're still actively involved in Veve, in the Veve community, even if it's only a little bit, even if you only check once a week or once every couple of weeks, you are hanging in there a lot longer than the vast majority of people. Think about how much different things were back in November, December, when the crypto market was doing well, the stock market was doing well, Disney just got released. Think about how many new people were coming onto Veve and thought that prices would never go down, and all kinds of prices were flying just off the charts. We have never seen collectibles do so well. Compare that to now when things aren't so good, and look how quickly people leave, they get disinterested, and they just completely check out. One of my biggest investing mistakes, I would say, is that I got into cryptocurrency in 2017, and then once the bear market happened, there were a few reasons. Like, I didn't have a job at the time, so that's definitely going to play a big factor, but I just completely checked out once the bear market happened. I wasn't investing anything. I wasn't researching anything. I wasn't looking into anything. I wasn't checking any kind of prices. And during that time, there were so many opportunities to, even if I was putting in a little bit every week, accumulate all that crypto. And then in 2020, when it went back up, I could have been sitting very, very pretty, but I only wanted to come back in when things started to heat up again. And so I'm not going to make that mistake again when it comes to Veve. I'm not going to check out when things are low, when we're in a bear market. And the Veve app, Omi token, all those things, they could have blown up so much more. They could have done so much better if a lot of these things like MTL, Master Collector program, KYC, if all these things were implemented while we were in a bull run, while things were going crazy, while crypto was doing well, while the economy was doing well. So I've always thought it's weird that Veve hasn't blown up as much as I thought it should, but maybe that's why. It's because it wasn't fully functioning yet. You couldn't take money out. I'm sure that stopped a lot of people and a lot of whales. And along with that, the Omi token has not been on any big exchanges, not any really major ones ever really in its lifetime. And if it were to come onto like a Binance or a Coinbase during that bull run, it would have shot up so much and then I'm sure it would have come back down a lot, but it would not come down anywhere near where it is right now, like 0.001 or whatever it might be at this time, or whenever this video comes out. And the team is aware of the current conditions, and they are acting accordingly as to how to move forward. If I can go back and find the tweet, I'll show it on screen right now, but Reese has even said at one point that it wouldn't make sense to release the OMI token on a big exchange during a bear market, because it would be kind of counterproductive. It wouldn't really get the bump in price that they're looking for, because no one's really buying, no one's really looking for new tokens in the moment. And we would get nowhere near the benefit of having OMI released on a big exchange during a bull run compared to a bear market. It would just be a world of difference. So they've acknowledged that, and they are planning for that. But all these things would have put Veve and OMI on the map so much more, and the opportunities that we have at this current moment to buy OMI, to buy some of these cheap collectibles, they would not be here at this current time. And if you believe in the expansion of metaverses, you know, the Disney CEO has made it very clear he intends to make a metaverse for Disney. We got the Veveverse coming out here pretty soon. If you still believe all these things will be popular, will be sought after, and is the way that things are going, then nothing should change about investing in this project. What these delays have done is they have weeded out a lot of the negative people, a lot of the impatient people. It has limited the growth of Veve and Ecomi, and in turn, all those things have created more opportunities for people like me and you. You do not need to be a genius to see what kind of opportunity that we have here with Veve and Ecomi. I mean, I say it all the time, but guys, if you haven't heard it, I think you'll enjoy hearing it. If you've already heard it, I think it's worth hearing again, that a company the magnitude of Disney, they would not sign on to just any NFT project. They have all the resources, all the money, all the lawyers, and all the leverage, and they still chose to roll with Veve, to use Veve to distribute their collectibles, their extremely valuable IP. For me, that's all I need to hear, to be honest with you. I don't need to hear too much more than that. But they have so much more going for it that just is a cherry on top, just icing on the cake. I mean, I have never ever seen a crypto project so promising, have so much real world backing of established, popular, collectible brands. And yes, the delays have been annoying, they have been inconvenient, but at no point did I ever think that they were not coming at all. I was wrong about when they would come. I was wrong about believing the team about the deadlines, but I never had one doubt that they wouldn't come eventually. And it seemed like a lot of people had enough doubts to leave the project or just completely check out once MTL didn't come the first time they said it, or even the second, third time. Again, I'm not trying to excuse how much has been delayed. But if you thought that a company working with Disney was not going to deliver on their promises, or was just going to completely abandon the project, I don't know what you were on. I don't know what you were thinking. This project is still a slam dunk. During this time, this is the perfect time for Veve and Ecomi to just build, put their head down, get these things done. We're already seeing a lot getting done, a lot being pushed forward, and now they can turn their sights on to new things, the other things they've been promising, such as Master Collector Program, the Veveverse, more utility, all these kinds of things. And so during this time, they can get the app completely dialed in. In the meantime, we're still investing, we're still researching, we're still learning, and we are going to be primed for when the next bull run comes up. Us as investors and as community members, as well as the team and the project, we will all be ready to go, locked and loaded by the time things get crazy again. Think about what the world's gonna look like, what the crypto NFT landscape's gonna look like in 2 or 3 years, how much has already happened in this time frame. I mean, Veve got released to the public in early 2021, and the private early release was in late 2020. So I mean, in just 2 years, less than 2 years, we've come all this way. Think about 2, 3, 4, 5 more years where it's going to be. The entire landscape will be different. The entire market will be different. And in my opinion, NFTs will be a lot more integrated into things like gaming, or especially, you know, as we see already, collectibles. There's going to be more awareness, more demand, more money, more big investors. And during that time, not only will the app be better, more established, all these things, all the FUD and all the doubt that people have been talking about Veve, other things been holding them back, such as, oh, you can't cash out, oh, there's no rewards, this and that, whatever it might have been, all those things will be well behind us by that point. So what are people going to say then? And also, something that I think is worth noting is that my Veve collection, although it's taken a major hit, do not get me wrong, it's gone down so much from the all-time high, it is still one of my best investments of the last year. You know, stocks, crypto, anything, my Veve portfolio is actually the best performing one. And I think that speaks volumes about the value that this IP has, that the collectibles have, that even as the world faces a major economic downturn, these Veve collectibles are still holding strong, and even some of the grails have shot up in price recently. I think that once digital collecting is more well known, and once the economy gets back on its feet, I think that we'll see the value of these surpass their last all-time highs. I don't think every single thing will. I think the blue chips have the best chance, obviously. I don't think the world was ready for Veve when it came out. I think next time around, that's when we'll be ready. And I think we're going to see a lot of these profile picture NFT projects fizzle out. I try my best to not just lump in every other NFT project with one another and bring them all down, but honestly, what we've seen, a lot of them have no inherent value. They haven't delivered on their promises, and they lost a lot of their value very, very quickly. A lot of them turned out to be scams. I think by that point, a lot of those types of projects, those scammy type projects, will be phased out, and people will see the value of collecting historic IP. I guess my overarching point is that we all know how much potential this project has. We know everything it has going for it. We know who they're working with. And if you know that, then in my opinion, you should probably want these collectibles and the Omi token to stay as low as possible for as long as possible, so that we can just continue to accumulate, because it's not a matter of if Veve blows up, it's a matter of when Veve blows up and how much it will blow up. And I should probably mention that the lower the price the Omi token is, the higher the burns are. So if the Veve app continues to sell out every single drop, this and that, then the Omi token is on pace to burn its whole reserve supply. I think Foster said like 2022 or 2023. It's on a crazy pace right now. So the lower the Omi price, it even helps us as Omi investors. But they have just about every catalyst going for them. I have the utmost faith in this team. David, Dan, Reese, all those guys. We are in great hands, and they are working diligently to deliver and just keep building and get this app as good as possible. And if you're thinking long term, there is not too much to worry about, in my opinion. So even with a lot of the prices being as low as we've seen them, maybe even ever, I have never had so much confidence in this project, and I've never been so excited to be invested and involved in this amazing project and amazing community. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys. I've been thinking about this for a while, and now that a lot of these major milestones are here and are passing, you know, MTL, KYC, blah, 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 I thought it'd be a good time to touch on all the delays we've seen, but what can come from these delays. And with the state of the market, I think there are tons and tons of opportunities. So shout out to all these delays. They've been a bit annoying, not gonna lie, but I think they have done more good than harm if you are here for the long run and if you're still a Veve believer. Our best days are still upon us. We have a lot more to get to, a lot more to see, a lot more to experience, and it's gonna be so much fun, guys. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. I'll wrap it up here. I've been talking for too long, probably. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, comment if you got something to say, and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. As always, this has been NFT Flenny, and I will catch you guys next time.